Did you know we already use nuclear energy? Fuel me once here, drive an instructor of the world. Nuclear has to be the most controversial energy of all. Nuclear energy is formed from chain reactions where we split uranium and plutonium atoms, create steam, and then that steam heats turbines, which in turn create electricity. In turn was an intentional pun. The uranium we use has to come from seawater or inside the Earth's crust as tin, tungsten, and molybdenum. Plutonium, on the other hand, although sometimes found in uranium deposits, is usually created. We have to make most of the plutonium. Usually that's done by reducing plutonium tetrafluoride with calcium. There's a lot of experts out there that believe that a greener and much more abundant element, thorium, is something we could use instead of uranium. In fact, China, with U.S. help, is researching this. Do you think it's a good idea to be aiding one of our enemies with nuclear energy? Russia also uses it. Is that a good idea? And India. It's not radioactive on its own. It has to be used with a fissionable or fissible material, sometimes like recycled plutonium. Just add a neutron, becomes uranium-233. Now, it is naturally occurring, and it's much more abundant than uranium. It's extremely common in soil, rocks. It's also found in monazite deposits. Now, a lot of people freak out at just the word nuclear, but we already use it for 20% of our power. Some of the benefits of nuclear has high output. If we could harness fusion, man, we'd have unlimited capacities for energy. Some of my friends at universities are already working on this. They have been for a long time, though. There's a fairly high initial cost in building reactors, but once they're there, very low cost to produce the nuclear energy. That energy is not subject to market fluctuations. Super reliable, can be produced nonstop, not subject to any weather or other conditions or temperature. And not only is it zero emission, but actually prevents about 530 million metric tons of CO2 from being released in the atmosphere. Really only requires a relatively small amount of land to host a reactor. Some of the problems, it needs a lot of water. It uses a ton of water, more than even coal, more than actually almost any other power, including hydrogen and hydroelectric. Also, uranium has to be mined, which does have an environmental impact. Most of it's non-renewable. No greenhouse gases, but there is radioactive waste, which obviously has to be stored, and that's expensive. And of course, what everyone worries about, the threat of an accident. That can be devastatingly harmful to people, land, and animals.